Hi, welcome to the Gamesplainer. I'm Jeff the Gamesplainer, and today I'm gamesplaining Betrayal at House on the Hill. I've set up Betrayal at House on the Hill for a 3-player game. I have purchased the expansion, which is Widow's Walk. I've tried to take all the expansion material out. If I have accidentally left some of those cards in, I do apologise. They don't change the way the game plays, so you'll still get a really good understanding of how it goes, but I try to keep everything on the base game as much as possible. Our players are Professor Longfellow, Missy Dubois, and Ox Bellows. So I'll go from left to right as my players, and let's just see how far we can get into this game before the haunt starts. I'll hopefully get up to the haunt and stop when that happens, unless that takes too long and you get an idea of the game before I get there. Okay, let's get started. So the Professor is going to start by heading straight through that door. This is the pile, so the first one is a basement card, so that one goes straight to the discard, or at least to be drawn later. This one is a ground floor, so I'll pull them back out of the way. Just trust me that I'm grabbing the right cards. And he's stepped straight onto the coal chute, which sends him straight to the basement landing. He will continue to search in the basement, so he's gone one room so far. The Professor has 4 movements total, so he'll go into another room. And he's walked into the pentagram chamber. When exiting, he must attempt a knowledge roll of 4+. If he fails, he's going to lose a sanity, but he can continue moving. So that's worth remembering as he tries to exit. There's an omen in that room, so he draws an omen card and gets the book. A diary of lab notes, ancient script of modern ravings. He gains 2 knowledge now, but he'll lose knowledge if he loses the book. So while he hangs on to that book, his knowledge is shifted up to 7. And he makes a haunt roll, which is 6 dice. Only 1 omen's been drawn, so he'd have to actually roll zeros on everything to start the haunt. So that usually doesn't happen this early in the game. So we're safe. Okay, moving on to Missy. Missy will go the other direction through this door. And she draws the patio. And that has an event in it, so she takes the event. Your hand begins to itch, then burn. The pain is overwhelming and you can do nothing but clutch your hand and scream. The scream dies in your throat when you realize you can't feel anything in it now. You attempt to wiggle your fingers and the hand moves of its own accord towards your throat. Choose one. Cut off your hand, lose a might and gain a sanity. Replace your hand, losing 1 might and draw an item card. Or keep your hand, lose 2 sanity, gain 1 might, and move to the nearest room with an omen symbol and draw an omen card. She might replace her hand and lose the might and draw an item card. So the event goes into the discard pile. She loses 1 might, so she's still on 3, and she gains an item. So the item is a bell, a brass bell that makes a resonant clang. Gain 1 sanity now. She gains her 1 sanity. And lose if you lose the bell. Once during your turn after the haunt is revealed, you can attempt a sanity roll to use the bell. Okay, so that one won't come into play till after the haunt starts, unless obviously she is the causer of the haunt to start. Okay, moving along to Ox. Ox will go for somewhere slightly different. He might head upstairs. Actually, he's got a movement of 4, so 1, 2, 3, and he will head through that door there. He has found the mystic elevator. So when he steps in it, he rolls 2 dice. And he goes to the ground floor. We'll head back down to the Professor in the basement. He has to do a knowledge roll to get out of the basement. Now, fortunately, his knowledge is 7. So he's going to roll 7 dice. And he needs a 4+. And he has very easily got his 4+ to get out of that room. So it's 1. He will head. He'll head up that direction. He's pulled the dusty hallway. For 2, he will continue to head that direction. I may need to start opening up the camera angle a little bit more now. He's pulled the organ room for 3, and that draws an event, which is the angry being. It emerges from the slime on the wall next to you. You must attempt a speed roll. So the Professor's speed is 4, so he rolls 4 dice. He's rolled a 5. On a 5+, you get away and gain 1 speed. So we push the professor's speed up 1. He can now move through 5 rooms at a time. Okay, moving on. Back to the little girl. She's going to head this direction. And she's landed in the collapsed room. So she has to do a speed roll of 5+. She's got a speed of 5, so we'll roll 5 dice. She's got a 4, which means she's failed the speed roll, which means that she lands in the basement. So we select the next basement tile, and that's where she landed. But fortunately for everyone, she's just managed to draw the stairs out of the basement. So we'll put that there. We add the below collapsed room token onto that hallway so that we know where is below the collapsed room. And she also takes 1 die of physical damage, which is 0. So that's good for her. Okay, it is now Ox's turn. Ox will come back through. He wants to go back upstairs. So 1, 2, 3. And he's going to continue exploring upstairs. He'll go through this door. He has opened up the junk room. Once again, when exiting, he must make a might roll of 3+, or lose speed. He also draws an omen. The omen is the Holy Spirit symbol, a symbol of calm in an unsettling world. He gains 2 sanity now, but he'll lose it if he loses the omen. And he also makes a haunt roll of 4, which there's only 2 omens on the in play at the moment, so that's okay. Moving back to the professor. The professor's going to continue exploring in the basement. He'll go through that door. And he has opened up the kitchen, which also has an omen in it. The omen that the professor draws is a spear, a weapon pulsing with power. You roll 2 additional dice when making a might attack with this weapon. You can't use another weapon while you're using this one. And the professor must also make a haunt roll right now. He's rolled 4. There are 3 omens at the table, so the haunt still does not begin. The girl's going to head back upstairs. The stairs from the basement always come up into the foyer. She's now going to move through the collapsed room, so not using its ability, and open up the room on this corner. And the room that she has opened is the library. Once per game, if you end your turn here, gain 1 knowledge. So little girl will end her turn there and gain a knowledge. That pushes her knowledge up to 5. And she takes an event. Image in the mirror. There is an old mirror in this room. Your frightened reflection moves on its own. You realize it is you from another time. Your reflection writes on the mirror, "This will help." Then it hands you an item through the mirror. Draw an item card. The item is the dark dice. Once per turn, you can roll 3 dice and then do what's on there. So she's actually going to do that right away because she feels lucky. She has rolled a 3. Immediately move into an adjacent room with no movement cost. And she's going to use that movement to move to there. And that brings her into the abandoned room, which has an omen in it. The spirit board. A board with letters and numbers to call the dead. Before you move during your turn, you can look at the top tile of the room stack. If you use the spirit board after the haunt has been revealed, the traitor can move any number of monsters 1 space closer to you. If you are the traitor, you don't have to move those monsters. If there is no traitor, all monsters move 1 space closer to you. Make a haunt roll now. Well, that's good to know. And we do another haunt roll. There are currently 4 omens. We've rolled a 6, so we're still safe from the haunt. We are up to Ox's turn. Ox is going to head through this door. And he's walked into the master bedroom, which once again has an omen in it. It's the dog, a companion. This mangy dog seems friendly, at least you hope it is. Gain 1 might and 1 sanity now. Moving up the sanity track to there, and might. He will need that later. He might need that later. No, that was too gross. I'm so sorry. I apologize for that joke. Okay, and take a small monster token to represent the dog. Put it in your room. Once during your turn, the dog can move to any explored room up to 6 spaces away using doors and stairs, and then return. It can pick up, carry, and drop 1 item before it returns. The dog isn't slowed by opponents. It can't use one-way passages or rooms that require a roll. It can't carry items. That's slow movement. This item can't be dropped. Okay, I think this one looks enough like a dog. Let's do that. Okay, and Ox does a haunt roll. There are 5 omens at the table at the moment. And he has rolled the haunt, so the haunt starts. He has rolled a... using the dog. So we go to the haunt chart, which is just here. We're looking for the dog, which was the omen, and the master bedroom. So master bedroom is here. The dog is there, which means number 5. Number 5 is the haunt revealer. So Ox becomes the traitor in this particular haunt. We turn to haunt number 5 and dismiss Ox with this book, and the rest of the players will look at the other book. Please don't read that if you haven't played the game before. And I'm going to leave it there. So we've revealed the haunt. I hope that gives you an idea of how to play the first half of the game. The second half of the game will be Ox trying to do something to most likely kill the other players, and the other players trying to do something to stop him from being able to do that. I haven't read that haunt, I'm not going to. I don't like spoilers, and I don't want to spoil the game for you if you are to play it. I hope this gives you a good idea of how to get Betrayal at the House of the Hill to the table and get it running. I hope it gives you a good feel for the game. If you have any comments or suggestions, please write them below. If you have any games that you wish to be Gamesplayed, please shoot me an email at thegamesplainer@gmail.com. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at thegamesplainer to see what games I've been playing. Subscribe to my videos to keep up to date with the games that I'm gamesplaining. And until next time, enjoy gaming.